Hey everybody, and welcome to Twin Talk, a video discussion show where twin brothers Chris and Kevin drink and draw while talking about comic books, movies, and all things pop culture. We're your hosts, Chris Hart, Kevin Hart, and today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Stick around to the end of the episode, see how our drawing of Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, came out. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel for more content. Episode 3, entitled Power Broker. This episode is so focused on Zemo. I love that. It's really good. He was so underutilized in Captain America Civil War. We finally get redemption for this character who was so incredible as a villain. He's the perfect definition of a villain. He was from Sokovia, right? Mm-hmm. Not only do we see his mind games in this episode, even in Civil War, but now we see his combat skills, and he thinks what he's doing is right. He's like, oh, like superheroes cannot exist, which we have yet to hear the line, but we see that he's not finished with his work, and he's going to stop at nothing because he's got his own agenda, and he's definitely going to turn on these guys. I know it. Oh yeah, of course. He's even gone a little rogue halfway through this episode, done a couple things. And the second that they go to that prison to like talk to him, and Winter Soldier's like, I'm gonna go talk to him alone. I was just like longing. Homecoming. And he does, 70. Yeah. And as soon as he walks in, he starts giving him these, like, you know, the code words that turn him into the Winter Soldier in that trance. I liked Zemo enough in Civil War. Daniel Bruhl. I was disappointed in him because I love Baron Zemo as a villain. I feel like Captain America has one of the greatest rogues galleries, up there with Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man, honestly. Good, yeah. And so colorful, so rich in history. And I just feel like they kind of like underused him in Civil War. He is on full display here in this show. In this one episode, he looks perfect. The coat, the mask. Oh, God. The fact that he's rich and a baron, and he's got like this like... like Alfred, his version of Alfred. Yeah, he does. And just everything about him, even the score, like the second that Bucky walks into the prison, like that score from Civil War is playing. I'm like, yeah, like his score is great for him as a character. Yeah. And I just loved everything about him this episode. Like I said, he's just on full display here. He's perfection. That coat is baller, dude. The character design in this show is great. Yeah. That coat, the fact that you said he's basically a German Bruce Wayne. He's like, he kisses his guy. He's like, yeah, I was a baron. I was royalty before you guys destroyed Sokovia. And that's why he's so hellbent, is because he's been wronged as a character. And that's why he's trying to go against he hates the Avengers. He hates super powered people in general. And so I can't wait to see his arc play out in this series, because right now he's kind of like a necessary ally, right, against this girl Carly and the Flag Smashers or whatever. Everyone's gunning for him. He's definitely got to turn on them. It's like, even I think in the last episode we see, and even in this episode we see chessboard, right, in the jail. Yeah. So I love the mind game aspect of Zemo. But not only is he a mind game, first of all, he walks out of jail like scot-free. He's just like great scene, yeah, playing into the chaos, almost like a Joker character. But then also we see at the end of the episode his combat skills. I'm so glad we got to see. All that was missing was the sword, and we would have got a perfect live action adaptation of Baron Zemo. It was incredible. But I feel like he will turn on our heroes, because every chance he got, it seemed like he kind of was his character. It's just his character. He's a villain, you know, and they're evil. Evil. Every chance he got, he was toying away. They're like, "Where's Zemo?" But he did keep coming back. But I feel like it's because he kind of needs the heroes at this moment, which sucks, because like I kind of like him working so with the heroes. Yeah. But he said, like, I have no intention of leaving my work unfinished. He said it to the audience. He said it on paper. So we know that he's definitely going to flip the script halfway through. Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier is so great. I love his character. He goes full Winter Soldier in this. He's pretending to be his old ways. And that's cool to see that. Yeah, that's my favorite part about the Winter Soldier, is that he went from being this like cheeseball, corny sidekick of like of the times of the comic books, and they made him relevant in the comics by giving him this like evil arc. I love Bucky. I love Bucky, don't get me wrong. It was also, like you said, of the time, Batman, Robin. But they made him relevant. They kind of took that character and they made him so layered, and they gave him this kind of like evil twist against his will to kind of have this road to redemption. And I love that he's trying to pay for past mistakes. I'm kind of concerned, like, he said it's in there somewhere. So like, I'm a little worried that Baron Zemo might get control of him. Initially, I felt like at the end of the show, Sam Wilson would get the shield again and take on that role of Captain America. But something in me is now leaning towards Bucky.
But at the same time, though, like you can't have Bucky be the Captain America now if he goes back into his old ways as the Winter Soldier. He's been cleared once before. If he goes back into it, that kind of undermines him as a character in the MCU. So I hope he doesn't get brainwashed again by Zemo, because that would just be like unfortunate for him as a character.
Even then, like it seems like he wants the shield back, right? Sam kind of said he would destroy it.
Yeah.
And
Bucky said he was like, "Give it to me, I'll get it." You know?
So I would love to see either of them become Captain America because it's very comic accurate. But I think with the way the show is leaning, they're definitely going to give it to Sam, I feel, because it's leaning into this whole Isaiah Bradley went unrecognized, an African American, not getting the recognition. Meanwhile, Steve was celebrated. And I feel like Sam's going to have to come to terms with the responsibility of what is the shield that Cap gave him. He handed it to him. So I'm excited to see that. And I hope, again, we said we want the Stuart Immonen, incredible costume design. So I hope that comes to fruition in live action. I just love the fact that we got the car seat reference again. He's like, "Could you pull your seat up again?" And Bucky's like, so apathetic. He's like, "Nope, no." And I love the role reversal too, because in Civil War, it was Anthony Macki's Sam Wilson in front, and I was getting the medicine he deserves about the foot room not being enough.
And that's where it shows like the comedic. Their charm together as actors and
Plus
their chemistry works
just their
so
relationship as characters. Yeah, they're both like Steve's best friends fighting for who's
the
the best friend. Yeah,
Even the part where like Zemo like kind of goes rogue for a minute, and they're in like that like industrial storage area, and like they're fighting over which way to go. Is it go right, go left? There's a barricade here. And they're just both like arguing instead of just saving themselves.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like How I Met Your Mother when like Marshall and Barney are fighting over who's Ted's best friend. They're like, "Yeah, no, I would be his best man. I would be his best man." Like, and they're just fighting for like who's gonna be Steve Rogers' legacy.
Let's talk about John Walker for a second, because he kind of comes in and he busts down the door's Cap. And he's like trying to assert his dominance, and the dude just spits in his face.
I felt so bad for him in that moment.
"You know what? You know what?" Yeah.
He's like, I felt so bad. He was like, "I'm Captain America," and like going into that, he seemed so. He was like, "Don't let them shred, breathe, or delete, or like whatever it was." And I was like, "Ooh," I was like, I'm so torn between liking this guy and
I love it. I love it.
not trusting him. I think there's going to be a whole nother flip between this character too, with U.S. Agent. We know he is being like kind of like an anti-hero villain type, but I felt so bad for him, like trying to assume like his position as Captain America and authority. But it was also, this show plays so heavily into like politics and like society. I felt like it was kind of like a metaphor for like America in general, right? Like he goes into another country, he kicks the doors down, and he expects like respect from this guy. And this guy just spits in his face. Like he even says Americans have become brutes and stuff. And I feel like that is such a relevant topic with, how many wars has like America kind of invaded for like its own intentions, and like everyone kind of hates America. And I kind of feel like he's the symbol of that, unfortunately. Even though in this show, he seems to be like a nice guy, I feel like he represents the complete opposite of what Steve Rogers was.
Yeah. The agenda as opposed to the good man, as Dr.
Exactly.
Erskine says. So, which is actually pretty interesting, because I saw the other day on YouTube that he actually, Wyatt Russell's his name. He actually auditioned for the role.
I didn't know that
America,
either. Yeah.
Back when 2010, 2011, when they were doing the Captain America solo film, he auditioned and just didn't land it. And now, obviously, like 10, 11 years later,
He kind of gets the role now.
yeah,
he's
that's
like, cool. Yeah,
he
that's
gets
really
that.
cool.
He gets that like he wasn't right then, and he's not right now. Because it's like
he's just a knockoff
he's
Captain
a knockoff
America.
Cap, and like it's like, oh, like now you're gonna play the role of a guy who's not right for the role of Captain America.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like
B-list, yeah.
meta in that way. I honestly like every time they come on screen, I kind of love like that aspect of
It's
him.
cool.
Him
Yeah.
and Battlestar as like this, like I said, like this fake pseudo Cap and Bucky, and I'm excited to see where it goes,
Because they were in this episode very little. It was very Zemo focused,
Zemo centric.
We get Sharon Carter, who was a total badass.
Yeah.
The fight actions, sequences between her were incredible. Incredible to see the strength of her. Like, and she's kind of like this rogue agent in Madripoor, which let's talk about. Party City, dude. I want to
I
take
had the sound bar on. I was like, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
These guys are just like high as a kite, like they're just like sipping like there's no tomorrow, sipping on gin and juice, snake guts. Like it's crazy, man.
We see that Zemo takes Falcon and a Winter Soldier. He goes and he's looking for, what's his name? The Power Broker.
Power broker.
But instead they take him to this this gang leader, Ellen DeGenerate. I don't know what's going on with that character.
Shelby, I think her name is. She gets murked in like 10 seconds, but yeah. That was like, great tension in that scene though, when like Sam, he's disguised as Smiling Tiger, which I had to Google. Apparently, it's a character in the Marvel Universe, which is pretty cool. Conrad Mack, I believe his name was. I loved how hard he was trying to act. He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill a banker. I'm like, he was like, meanwhile, it's like, what, his sister is calling him or whatever. Power Broker, I don't know who he is as a villain. I was kind of hoping he was Zola, but apparently he is like his own villain in the Marvel lore. Because those texts... Throw away, yeah, but those texts went out very quickly. I was like, is this Zola? Because these texts seem to be going to Carly and to his minions all on this island of Madripoor, which reminded me a lot of Latveria. I was like getting that flavor big time.
It said like, Latvia at one point. I thought it said Latveria. I was
yeah. I was like, oh my God. I was like, could you imagine the minute that Doctor Doom enters the MCU and we get Latveria, that's when I'm just like handing them dollar bills. Yeah. I'm hoping it's Zola. I hope they kind of bring back the Red Skull or Zola somehow. But this Power Broker character, apparently he's a villain. You know, kind of seems like throwaway, but I'm excited to see where that goes as well. Flag Smashers too, like the girl Carly Morgenthau, I think her name was. We kind of see an aspect to their characters. They're kind of like trying to do the right thing, but in like a horrible execution. I'm
still not clear on exactly what their intentions are and where they're going to end up.
Because they're kind of like freedom fighters, if you will, like the rebels. They're trying to get the resources that would help people. This one girl, Dr. Madani, whatever, dies in this episode of tuberculosis. And these people, GRC or whatever, the Global Repatriation Council or something like that, they opened the episode. It's kind of like a COVID, like getting back to normal type commercial. Yeah. But we see that the Flag Smashers are against them because they're kind of like hoarding supplies that could help people. Again, another relevant topic, but like they're going about it horribly. Even the girl Carly, she like blows up this like council with a bunch of these guys in there alive, burning alive. And I did like the line that she said that this is the only language that these people understand, violence, which we do see on the news every week. You know, like there's this and that. Violence is, people are trying to get their message across politically, socially. And it's the wrong way to go about it, but at the same time, they're kind of right. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see how this show... We only have 3 episodes left. We're halfway through. This was a great episode. I loved this episode. So I'm excited to see how it wraps up. Who gets the shield? Is Baron Zemo going to be a good guy, or is he going to make a twist? What's with the Flag Smashers? Like, are they going to kind of get gunned down by the Power Broker? Who is the Power Broker? I have so many questions, and I just can't wait for the rest of the series. We even get a Wakanda reference. We have a Wakandan. That's right, at
the end, yeah.
She's gunning for Zemo. And that's what I'm saying, is everyone's gunning for somebody in this. Like, everyone's like, it's got to culminate into something big in the next 3 episodes. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below to join the discussion. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time. Peace!